Hi, we're here with the Atlanta Freedom Bands. I'm Kurt, the Associate Director of Music, and we're here with our student composer for the month, which is River Prescott. So River, can you share just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, I'm River. I'm primarily a trumpet player. I'm a senior in high school. I live in Johns Creek, Georgia. I attend Chattahoochee High School for my last year, and I'm planning on majoring in music and probably majoring in music composition, aiming to be a freelance musician for my life.
Right. What inspired you to want to be a freelance musician and a composer, especially a composer?
Yeah. Well, I love all parts of music. I mean, I've been playing trumpet for most of my life, and for the past few years I've started to arrange and look into score study and music theory and these kinds of things. And to an extent I like teaching as well, so being a freelance musician would give me the opportunity to look through a lot of these opportunities, like teaching and playing in groups and writing for groups at the same time.
What do you like writing? Do you have anything that you particularly written for lately, or other than us? But I mean, anything that you like so far writing?
Yeah, so I've written for a handful of chamber groups in my school, mostly our trumpet ensemble and our brass ensemble, as well as last year I wrote something for our jazz combo as well. And I'm planning on writing some more stuff for wind ensemble and jazz band and some larger groups too.
Okay, great. So we asked you here to write for Atlanta Freedom Bands. We're doing a concert, Music for 7 Continents, and so you've written a piece. Would you care to tell us a little bit about that piece and the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, so I wrote the piece called Frigid with the idea of the continents in mind, and being approached with that idea was really interesting for me because I went through different ideas of music in my head from every continent and things I could think about while writing it, like the geography and cultures and these things. But then going to the last one, the most isolated of them all being Antarctica, I was like, what would music sound like if people were from Antarctica instead of just us like venturing there? And then also taking inspiration from the landscape and the really cold nature of the Arctic, and that is where the piece Frigid came from.
Okay. So I feel as the conductor, like the last section in 5/4 is very dissonant and very, kind of expresses that isolation in Antarctica, or that's my perception of it. But you've used 5/4 in that section, but you also used 5/8 as that's not a common meter. But why? Do you have any particular reason?
Well, first of all, I think no one is just born in Antarctica because it's not suited for humanity, and having that unbalance of there's still life and nature here, but it's not meant for us is where that kind of unbalanced feeling in 5/8 comes from. But then in the 5/8 section, I really try to express some of the landscape where it's like these hills and the ice and all that stuff.
There are a lot of beautiful melodies in there. The composition starts in 6/8, but then quickly moves into 5/8 with some tambourine and kind of gives us that pulse. Like you said, the uneasiness of the landscape, the topography is still. You represent that well in this. It's not a very long piece, but you somehow capture it quickly. Antarctica being just kind of an isolated continent all to itself. There's not, people aren't knocking down the door to write music for Antarctica. So, or Antarcticans. I don't know what the proper term is for people from there. But great. Do you have aspirations are you looking in any particular place where you want to go to school?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking primarily in the state of Georgia. I'm looking at places like Kennesaw because I've worked with their director before, and I like the program and things like that. So. Okay.
Well, that's nice. They have a great trumpet teacher there.
Yeah, Doug Lindsay.
Doug Lindsay. He recently gave a clinic to the Freedom Band.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
I think we pretty
I
much
forgot a
covered
question. So,
Okay.
so as a composer, you write a piece. This is always what I'm interested in. You write a piece of music, and sometimes you use keyboard or a music software program to hear your piece. So, what were your first impressions when you actually heard it performed by a live ensemble?
It was really amazing just hearing the fullness, and it really brought to life sections which, like, I mean, of course I had envisioned them the way I wrote them, but then like it brought even more life and beauty to it once I actually got to hear the instruments being played within the space and really hearing it being brought to their interpretations too.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's me as a conductor, the computer can play anything, so it can always sound perfect on the computer. But once you actually hear it for the first time and you're lifting it off the page, and that sometimes you evaluate adjust your choices for different musical instrument combinations or certain rhythmic things. But it's been fun. It's been fun for the Freedom Band to do it.
Yeah.
We don't have a specific piece for Antarctica on our program. We found some stuff about the Southern Lights, but not the continent itself. So, welcome to the music canon of Antarctica.
Thank you.
So it'll be fun, and we'll be glad to have everybody come to our concert or watch it online. We look forward to seeing you on March 18th.